Welcome, listeners, to Just Neapolitan, where we ask the age-old question, is it better the second time? Everyone is here today. It's a Jordan, Maggie, Floyd, and I'm your resident. Please, sir, may I have some more? Brian.
Always back for the double trouble, you feel me?
Try again.
Second time's a charm, and y'all will never know what we mean by that. I'm for addendums and news. So, last week I was talking about a game called World Turtles. Yeah, it was not the game that I was attempting to remember at that time. And you'll have to forgive me for being confused. There's a reason I was confused. See, in World Turtles, you're building on the back of a space turtle. And with your meeps.
Okay.
Your little people are called.
Meeples. Got
the game I had... Yeah,
it sounds like you're saying meat.
Meeps. Meepus. Meepus. Meepus.
M-E-E-P-S.
I got it.
Don't you hit a
postscript? Fuck off. The game I originally fuck all of you. The game I originally read about was, and I was actually excited for, is Beyond the Stars, which is the follow-up to Before We Leave. And
After
in this game, you build your colony on the back of a space whale with your peeps.
Your peeples.
P-E-P-S, postscript, don't
Oh,
want
my
to hear
peeps,
about
not
it.
my peeps. Okay.
Got it.
My peeps, not my meeps.
Not your meeps.
meeps.
Got it.
When I drive up in my Jeeps, I go beep beeps.
You got the keys to the Jeep.
Why y'all being
Who got
creeps?
the keys to the Jeep?
If your bed gets too warm or too wet, it seeps.
Oh no.
Whoa.
Spoken
Not
word.
that.
If you have enough faith, take them leaps.
Oh, faith.
All right, I'm
Look at
done
him
now.
go. He's
He's a
unstoppable.
madman.
I'm stopping myself. I myself am both an unstoppable object and
Movable force?
something movable force. What? No, I fucked those up real bad.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Something dark
Unstoppable force and movable
side.
object.
Something.
You underestimate my power. Anyway, Beyond the Stars is scheduled to be released 2024, and World Turtles just seems like an early access knockoff.
Yeah.
That's the sum up of that. A game I keep forgetting to talk about came out March 30th is Dredge. It's a Lovecraftian horror fishing game.
I like fish.
It does
I
look
don't
very
like-
cute.
You like fish?
Fish.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do. I like the omega-3 fatty acids. They help me get big brain.
Big Winkle. Big
And we
Winkle
all,
Wayne.
Big wiggly brain. And we all know that with my big brain, I can pronounce words correctly.
Correctly.
I do best at speaking.
That's right.
But it does look like a cute game. I got to look at it a little bit, and it looks like something all four of us would enjoy, which means the majority of people would probably enjoy.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and like even like reading the reviews seems pretty good. Some of the negatives like just make me feel like may not be worth the full price tag. Seems like it's probably kind of short. Like it'll probably take a few times till you get the mechanics down, and then you can just run through it.
Isn't it on
Which
sale?
is fine. For 10%.
All
if you
right.
consider that a sale.
$22 instead of $25. Let's
Man,
get
that's
it.
a lot of money off right there.
Woo.
Yeah, and then once you take in the tax for where we live, that's $25 again.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why 10%'s not a sale to me
Taxes.
anymore.
10% shouldn't be a sale, period.
Yeah. 10% is just like, we're going to lower the price of the game permanently.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. So we talked about this last week a bit too. There's all these calls that I've been seeing like from different game journalists about Game Pass isn't worth it, yada yada, blah blah blah. And I don't get that. There's a couple of reasons here. My biggest one is games journalists get codes to play games for free. And this is how their articles are out about the games the day the game releases. In case anyone couldn't put that together in their own head and needed someone to explain it to them, you're fucking welcome.
Some people might. Some people
I'm sure they
might.
do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you played
Yeah.
40 hours in this and the article's out an hour after the game released? You're amazing.
Mhm.
Oh my god, I wish I was like
God.
you. Oh my god. So yeah, part of me is just like, why does a game journalist need Game Pass? So why do I care about your opinion of Game Pass? And if you're a game journalist that does require a Game Pass, how are you so fucking stupid that you're not writing it off as a business expense? And if you're writing it off as a business expense, don't tell someone who can't do that what to fucking do with their money.
That's right.
Probably a little more angry than I needed to be about that.
No,
But
I
whatever.
think that's the right level of angry.
I mean, I'm just saying I smell a sussy baka when I read them fucking articles.
No, we're not doing the
Sassy
Sussy
Baka.
Baka thing. We're not making. Stop trying to make Sussy Baka happen. It's not going to happen.
Baka.
Listen, it exists in my head canon.
In
Kaboom.
my head canon.
Oh, and just a personal matter that's funny. And you're not going to get enough information to steal anything from me. But if you want to steal my debt, feel free. So
Please.
my bank account kind of keeps track of my reoccurring bills, or what it thinks is reoccurring bills. It has an algorithm. Like, if you keep paying to this one company every month, it thinks Steam is a monthly bill. I've mentioned having a problem before, and now my bank account is also like, we think you have a problem. And I'm like,
There might
Just-
be.
just shut up and cash my checks. Like, I don't need this judgment from a goddamn bank. You already own me. What more do you want?
No,
Everything.
literally.
And then I have hockey news. I'm not even excited about the hockey news.
But why not?
I think I'm just gonna skip the hockey news. I don't care.
No, hockey.
Fine. Look, the Leafs were eliminated in the second round of the playoffs. Congratulations, Leafs. It took you 19 years to get to the second round. Wonder how long it'll take to get to the third fucking round. Let's go,
Hockey.
Leafs.
Hockey.
Well, also, it's kind of cool, though. So,
Hockey.
yeah, okay. Well, then, moving on. Snoop Dogg might buy the Ottawa Senators, and that's also awesome. End of hockey news.
Hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah. Oh my.
Welcome to the video game
And as they
podcast
say,
where
and
we
as
have
they
a
say in
segment.
hockey, let's do that hockey.
Ooh, that's a baseball.
Yeah, right.
Sport.
Oh, that's a
Me-
baseball.
Me
Listen,
no
sports
sport
are a
ball.
Sports
game.
is game.
They are
I do.
sport ball game.
Sport ball
okay?
game.
Sport ball.
I love sport ball. Even though my favorite sport uses a puck.
Yeah.
Sport puck.
I'll take it.
Sport.
I am of sports.
Buttered sport.
All I know is ball. Ball is life.
Ball go in hole.
Then that's it. That's all I know about sports.
Team win.
Team win. Ball go over post. Win.
Me like crest on my shirt better than crest on your shirt. You enemy. Me like my crest best.
The only times I ever really go to any sort of sport game is to go with friends that are actually excited about it, because then I get excited
You also
for my
get to drink.
friends. Exactly. Except it is way too expensive. I don't really drink. Well, that's a lie. I do drink a lot at games, but
And that's what pregame.
but only when I have money.
Yeah,
But
you should
usually I go
definitely
because-
pregame before going to the
Yeah.
actual game.
Yes. But it's
I
fun
don't
to
know.
watch your friends get excited or get really pissed off. So
See, for me, part of the experience of going to the stadium is knowing I'm going to pay an overpriced for beers. And
Yeah.
that's factored, for me, that's factored into it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
a big fan of pre-gaming because then what happens is I show up and I need to pee already.
Ah.
I get
Like,
it.
you know what I mean? If you pre-game, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to break the seal at home or am I break the seal at the stadium? So I prefer going to the stadium slightly dehydrated, actually. It's not good for you.
dehydrated.
Don't do this. Don't do what I'm talking about right now. Don't do this. It's not good for you. But I'll make sure to eat something and just not like drink a ton of water and make sure everything's emptied out of me, which, too much information, but deal with it before I go and then start drinking beer then. So then if I'm lucky, I can get through the whole thing and not have to pee at all. And then you just pee when the game's over. And if the game goes into overtime, you curse the heavens and just piss yourself.
As God
I'm not missing
intended.
overtime, goddammit.
Why are we missing overtime?
That's why
And
you
Overtime
this
is the most exciting thing in sports.
And this is exactly what God and Jesus wanted for
Overtime
us.
games.
Piss yourself at a sports game. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it said in the Bible.
It was there.
I think. It was there. I saw it.
I seen
It was there.
I
seen
read it
it.
with my own swag.
It's in like Revelations 69 or something, right?
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Oh, I
basically.
mean, yeah,
100%,
probably. It had it had to be that one. If it was gonna be any of them, it had to be that one.
Right? Absolutely. What games do you guys been playing this fucking week?
I bought Tears of the Kingdom, and I only got to play 30 minutes of it because I had to go to work, but it's phenomenal. It's great. I highly suggest, if you are going to buy that one, to already, which I'm assuming the majority of people do or have done, play Breath of the Wild first, because it kind of starts off from the last one. But the first 30 minutes already have me hooked, so I'm really excited to see what the game has to offer. But other than that, I mean, I've kind of been MIA from the video game world.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
You
It's all right, Maggie
String
Moneybags.
Nancy.
We forgive you.
Oh, right.
Moneybag man.
Yeah.
Because I
Yes, no.
splurged.
This isn't a
Yeah.
second take. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
I'm broke and I spent the 70. Well, technically, I had money off because I had those like Nintendo points or whatever.
So you had
when you buy a
$3
game
off?
and they give you the
Wait,
points
wait.
back.
Those do something?
Yeah. They
Oh.
give you money back to buy more games. So I had $10.
You have to buy games to
Yeah.
get them. Never mind.
Yeah.
Buy
Buy
games
something
to
else.
get games.
So I had $10 in my
Yeah.
Nintendo bank. So really, I spent $60 on it.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I won't. I probably won't have that game for a while because I don't have a lot of space left on my Switch, and I don't want to get rid of anything on it. So I'm going to
You
be
know
buying a
what?
physical copy, and yeah, I'm not going to be able to get my hands on a physical copy for like months. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
know what?
No,
So-
actually, the Best Buy in the South Loop has copies still. I was checking earlier because I was going to go get it, but then I was like, "Fuck that! I'm not leaving the house today." And then I left the house to go get groceries.
Look at you.
So
See,
You go.
no, I was just go ahead. It was just a joke at his expense. I'll have plenty later. It's okay.
I was just gonna say I did buy the digital copy, and it was like, you don't have enough room. Do you want to archive a game? And the game that it told me to archive was Monster Hunter, and I said, "Yeah, you can archive that." It's like,
Oh.
yeah, I'm probably not gonna play that, so you can go ahead and
Oh.
archive it.
yeah,
Oh.
if you buy that new Humble Bundle, you could just get Monster Hunter on your PC.
It's true.
That is true.
Except my one big purchase for the month was Tears of the Kingdom, so I will not be buying a Humble Bundle. But thank
Yeah,
you
that-
for suggesting it.
Yet.
That's my other thing. I did Humble, but I only did the 7-item one because all I really wanted was the Mega Man games.
Yeah.
I want
I
all
was
of
like,
those games.
I didn't. I don't need Rise on my PC.
No.
I say this, but if you get Rise on the PC, and then I'm like, well, I'll play it with you.
Racing start
yeah.
over.
I'm gonna get Rise on the PC. I was just waiting for it to go on sale.
Okay,
And
then
now
that means
it
I have
is.
to end up buying. Fuck.
Fine, I'm gonna go upgrade to the goddamn
God
full one
damn
then.
And you know what's crazy? I won't.
We
That
know.
means I get to
Listen-
fight the Veil
Listen, we tried to get you into it. You,
Yeah.
No,
you didn't
and
like
I had,
it. It's okay.
I had a great time playing with you guys, but I never find myself playing it by myself. I would never find myself playing it by myself. And when I would just call Floyd and be like, "What do I do? What's this?" What's that?
You take the big
How do I do
weapon
this?
and point it at the big monster.
weapon.
It's
I use a
know.
light bow
Okay,
and not
I
keep a
understand.
distance.
Hit attack and then dodge. And when you hurt, hit the button for heal and then
Yeah, but-
repeat.
But then there's like the scrolly wheel where it's like, here are all these things you could use, and then suddenly I'm being hit and I'm trying to roll away, but I'm on the wrong thing, and then I'm trying to heal and I'm
Maggie.
on the wrong, and suddenly I'm on a dog.
See,
and
It's
I'm riding off
kick,
into
dodge,
the
heal.
sunset.
That's the 3 things you need to know.
like, just be like me.
If you can dodge a monster, you can
Just be
dodge
like
them
me.
all.
Be long.
Thank you. I was gonna make a reference.
Be long range. Shoot from a distance and let them take care of the bonks.
Boo.
Y'all say that until I was using my heavy bow gun and popping monsters.
Well, I didn't get rid of it. It just archived. It just
Yeah.
got archived. So I still have
Fuck
it. I
your
can still
shooting
play
game.
with you guys. But anyway, that's all I've been doing this
No,
week.
we
so.
taking monsters to the bonktorium. I don't know what you
Not
thought.
the bunker.
Oh no! While you over here doing your flippy dip
Bonk,
dips with the
bonk,
hammer,
bitch.
I'm over here knocking his head loose and stunning it for bitch asses.
This is a conversation for another day.
Correct.
Oh,
You are
yeah.
correct. We're going
When I'm not
Yes.
here, y'all can have a Monster Hunter.
An
Monster
argument
Hunter
about
one.
the correct way to play Monster Hunter,
Yeah,
which is melee build, by the way.
Yeah,
you
run
can
out
have a
and
discussion.
beat the
You
shit
can
out
have a
of them.
discussion.
So what the fuck is a gun
At a
lance? Oh,
later
still my
date.
bad.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Nope, you're right, man. I'm not getting into this. This is going for a fucking hour.
That's
and we
why
would
I'm
never
saying.
get anywhere.
Write it down. Make that a podcast.
I'm
when
going
not
to.
Here.
I'm going to. The next time we have just the three boyos here, it's going to be an hour-long argument about how to play Monster Hunter. That's all it's going to be.
Monster Hunter bitching about a Kieran.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yep,
no.
yep.
No, we're moving on. We're moving on right now.
Who else
Jordan, what
has been
games
playing
have you been
games?
fucking-
Oh, games? Man, I haven't played games, but I did look at my Switch and said, Hollow Knight. Deleted my save file and said, let's start over again.
You
Oh,
started
no.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have to.
Bitch,
delete
I
the
was
save
butthurt.
file. You could have started a new one.
I was
You know that,
butthurt.
right?
I don't care.
What boss were you
Yeah.
stuck on?
It's going to be great when we talk to you in 2 weeks and you're like, wish I had my Hollow Knight save.
I was deep in the deepness and I died too many times and I got pissed and I said, yeah.
You got stuck in a deep.
Yeah, I got stuck in the deepness.
All right. That we gonna talk after this. Anyway.
I have
Oh,
never played
no.
Hollow Knight, so
Oh no, I have to have a conversation.
I haven't either. I know. I what I know about Hollow Knight is I know it's a game I would get into.
You would.
Yeah.
I do know.
Yeah.
I've watched you play, and I've watched some other people play, and I'm like, oh, I would love this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know. It's just never been the right time. It'll come around. It was the same thing with Hades with me. You know, it took me
Yeah.
a long time to get into it. It's a game that I'm like, no, I
And
know
I'm
gonna
glad you
love
got
it. I just
into
need
it.
to be in the right mindset to do it. You know. Yeah, I mean, now I'm into a bunch of games right now. That's what I do. So I guess we could start off with our duet, Floyd.
Yeah.
Because we did play a game we've been talking about for weeks, that we've talked shit on, I personally defended last week, and Floyd and I played Redfall
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And I think the easiest way to explain how good the game actually is, don't believe the fucking haters. We played it for 5 hours straight without realizing it. And the only reason we realized it is because I hadn't eaten all day, and I finally looked at my phone to see what time it was. Floyd was sitting there getting tired. I was hungry as fuck. I hadn't eaten all fucking day, and it was like, we've been playing this for 5 hours with like no breaks.
None.
Like, I think I stopped twice to make coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really all we fucking did. And I know Maggie watched us for a while.
I did.
Candle.
Watched us for a bit.
Shout out
And
Candle.
then Alex too.
Mm-hmm.
So like we had people watching, and we had so much fun with that game. It is absolutely 100% do not play this game solo.
Yeah.
It's just it's I don't know, everything bad that's been said about it. I'm just like, I don't believe you anymore. Like I think what was one of our early complaints is that there weren't enough enemies, especially with two people.
Right.
We got that fucking wish.
No.
Like,
Imagine getting jumped in a room full of vampires.
oh my god, that one room for that second the second
second
nest we got
nest,
into. So the
yeah.
first vampire nest was like nothing.
That
And
was
not
baby's
realizing-
first
yeah,
nest.
Yeah, that was babies. That was teaching you what to do here. The second one, we turned a corner and we're like, all right, cool, we're going to shoot that guy. As soon as we shot that motherfucker, here's 8 vampires to come wreck your shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it got better the longer we played it. And then too, the story, which I know I was skipping a lot of it, but when we got into, what was it, Addison? The main,
yeah.
the
Into
vampire
his
god?
house, yeah.
And like you're seeing like, so they have these soul echoes in the game, which I think is a fantastic way to tell the story. Because you're more invested in those than a cutscene. You know, you're in the game and you're going through the house, and once you get all these like soul echoes and hear the story of what's going on, I'm ready to kill this fucker now.
Mhm.
I'm like, this guy's a piece of shit and he needs to fucking die. Like, that game has motivated me to want to finish the game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms that probably Maggie and Jordan would understand, the Addison is the dad that turned his daughter into a chimera. from
You
Fullmetal
fucking dick.
Alchemist. Yep.
You dirty bastard.
Yep.
Suddenly, I'm
And
very.
suddenly I want to fight for
Well,
it.
and not to give it away, but I mean we're probably like midway through the game. I'm
Mhm.
not sure. I can't really tell. I mean, we got a ton to do. We did a bunch of stuff. And I don't want to give too much away, but I think this is also just an important point to tell how well they did this part is the last Echo you watch in this house. Basically, like he caused her death
Mm-hmm.
in the pursuit of using her to gain
Hey, Maggie.
power. And like when that one happened, I was like, he's dead. I'm fucking killing him. Like
Yes, Jordan.
in a
Edward.
co-op, just fun shooter to have me so invested to want to kill the villain. Like that's great storytelling. I'm sorry, it just is.
True.
It just really is. And I mean, we can't go away without talking about how glitchy it is too.
Oh yeah, it's super glitchy.
But
It
but
was
it's
very
fun
funny
glitchy.
to watch.
Yeah,
yes,
it was
exactly.
fun
It's
glitchy.
fun
Correct.
glitchy.
There was one, so I was watching them play through Discord. They were not streaming it, but I was watching from
should've.
Floyd's. Yeah, you should have. I was watching it from Floyd's perspective, and at one point, I was watching on my phone, and I was scrolling on my phone at something, and I hear Floyd go, "Maggie, are you looking at this?" And I go back over, and it was a dead body of someone, but the game had stretched the person out like a noodle.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just like a full like linguine noodle of a person. And Brian was like, "Wait, what are you guys looking at? What are you looking at?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't see it?" And he was like, "No, it's just a regular person to me." So it was just
I was
funny.
so sad.
It was just funny to see how the glitches are different per like
Person, yeah.
per person playing it. But then another time, Brian was running in front of Floyd, but his character wasn't running. It was just floating on the ground.
That's what I had at the end of the game. That's what Floyd was doing on my screen. It was the craziest shit. And I just kept losing it.
Floyd was just standing still. He goes, "Did you see that?" I said, "Yeah, I saw it." It's like, it was really
Also,
funny.
I think it's worth mentioning some really good things the game does too. Loot instancing,
Yes.
which it doesn't mention that it does. I kept opening containers and being like, "Oh, Floyd, you take this. And he's like, "That wasn't in there for me." Finally, like after the fifth one, and I go, "Wait, I could get all those?" So loot instancing, fucking awesome. I love that when you get a weapon you don't need anymore, you don't have to take it back to a shop. Break it down in your inventory. There's one currency. That's it. Done. End of discussion. Here's your, that does everything for you.
Yeah.
I thought it was giving out too many legendaries, but the level of the weapon is much more important than the legendary. You never hold on to a legendary past probably 2 levels past when it's done, because now it's time to move on. So I'm fine. Throw the legendaries out as much as they do, because you're constantly recycling them. You're not running into a problem like, for example, with Borderlands 3, which sucks, where you're getting 70 legendaries and you got, well, which one is 0.01% more effective for the build I'm currently using? No, it's this one does more damage. Break this one down. Like there's none of that. There's none of this like, oh, I need to hold on to this. No, fuck it. Get rid of it. Get the next one. And
Except
my favorite.
Except my one legendary. I might keep that one.
Oh,
Just to
yeah.
be a
Oh, that
last
pistol?
shotgun. Yeah.
Dude, that pistol, I hate you so much for having it. So let's explain this a little bit. So when you're fighting a vampire, you get them into you fight them until their health is gone, but they're not dead. They'll regenerate. You have to run up and stake them. And with any like two-handed weapon, except sniper rifles don't. So I guess it's really just assault rifles and shotguns.
Right.
Have a built-in stake on them, and you just run up and do your melee, and you'll stake. Floyd found a pistol, and it was like you had to have been like level 2 or 3. You found it super fucking early. That it can kill a vampire who's downed. So he can basically stake from long range. Every time he does it, I'm like, I fucking hate you. I love you.
You said, "Now how do we get 2 of them?"
Yeah, now how do I find another one?
Right.
And then the sniper rifle. If you get a sniper rifle that has a suppressor on it, once again, it doesn't say this anywhere. And I'm kind of cool with it. I kind of like that it doesn't necessarily always tell you how to use the weapon, because like you got to kind of do it yourself, and you find like, oh my god, this is so good. So it's got the suppressor on it, and you can shoot people because, once again, Studio Arcane, I'm sorry you've never made good AI or stealth, but hey baby, don't ever change if you're doing co-ops. Funny as shit. There's like 3 cultists standing around, like talking to each other. And I shoot the one, and the other 2 make no reaction. Their friend died right in front of them. They're still talking like they're friends there. I shoot the second one. The third one still leaning up against the car, not doing shit. And I shoot that third one, and then finally one that was standing over here comes around a corner and sees us. And that's what fucking was like, oh, I see you now.
Hey.
That was a really funny part where they shot 2 of them, nothing had happened, and then they both had sniper rifles, and they were just sitting on this corner, and this guy turns around, looks at them, and is like, "Hey, what the?" And then didn't do anything, didn't pull out a gun.
Yeah, he just looked at us and just waited to get shot in his face.
Yes.
He basically just pointed at them and was like, "You guys aren't supposed to be
Bang.
here."
Bang.
Wait, you're not my friends.
Or
wait
the
a
enemies
minute.
that would let me. This hasn't happened so much late, towards the end of our session. But in the beginning of the game, I could just run up to an enemy and punch them, and they won't fight back.
It was very funny.
Yeah, later on you'd get a shotgun to the face doing that.
Yeah, and I paid for it several times.
That might be more that there were
paid
more
for it.
enemies, like, honestly.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think a lot of the thing, too, is, things that are being said in these articles, even some stuff I said from my playthrough, that the town is empty. It still has kind of a more empty feel. But I think, Floyd, you agree with me with this. Thematically, it works. It makes it feel kind of creepy.
Right.
It also, let's be honest, it kind of quickens the pace of the game. You can just run through those areas if you don't need anything. And then you just run to the next fight and fucking, that's what you're here for anyway.
Yeah, but it also just makes sense that an island that's a small island town is cut off from the rest of the world through magic or whatever. And the population wasn't that big to begin with. I'm just assuming. So there's no possible way that it's just filled with people. And the vampires murked a lot of people in the beginning of the game anyway. So it just makes sense that it just seems
everywhere,
empty.
Yeah. And we definitely found when we were going up to Edison's mansion, we went up. First, we went up from the beach, and we got wrecked. Then I was like, "Hey, there's this road over here," and we actually had to kind of pick up a little easier and try to get aggro on one enemy at a time so we could take him out. I had a lot of fun. I want all of us to play it. I think it's going to be even more fun with 4 people.
Yeah, we should play.
I think
a 4-person one.
Oh, absolutely. I think my big conclusion with this to anyone who is thinking about playing it: if you have Game Pass, get it and get your friend to get it with you. Don't bother playing it solo. Play it with people.
I'm gonna go get it sometime after this. I almost said stream podcast.
Yeah, sometime after this.
Whatever this is.
I know, and I told
now.
Jordan to download it too. So, yeah, I just think it's a fun game. It's just a lot of fun, and shit's gonna get patched. Games always do. Part of me is gonna be sad to watch some of the glitches go because they're just hilarious.
Right.
They're not game breaking, so who cares?
True.
I'm one of those people. Go.
I was just gonna say, I know, the game is gonna get better with updates and shit, but I like the character that it has now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the banter with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's kind of shut the fuck up, and other stuff is oh, that's kind of cool, and and then that oh yeah, there's the trust system, and all the trust system opens up is more dialogue between the characters. Which when I read that, I was like, that's dumb. But now that it's happening, I'm like, oh, it's actually kind of good because you're not hearing the same thing over and over, except when you split up.
Yeah.
There's one line that every one of them says when you split up, and they say it every time, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I wish you would have recorded more of this line because it was fine and campy the first time, but yeah, no, it's great. It's definitely worth the play. That's where I got to stand on that one. Floyd, have you been playing anything else this week?
I played Wizards of Legend and I played Fall Guys today.
Really?
And
hey,
yeah, and of all the games that I played, I made it to the final round except once. And I won none of them.
Oh!
Yeah. So my no crown streak continues, guys. Don't
It
worry.
continues.
It's not broken yet.
It's intact. Floyd is actually secretly going for a world record for most games of Fall Guys played while actually trying
Yep,
without getting a crown.
that's correct.
It's not just loading it up and standing there like some of you assholes do when you play. Looking at everybody.
Oh.
Not us.
I'd
Not
rather
I.
I'd rather have a room full of grabbers than a room full of people not moving.
I'll just go ahead and tell the story again.
Again.
What
What
again?
do you
What do you
mean?
mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? This is the first time we're
Again.
recording this episode. Nothing happened.
No. Basically, I was saying that my sister is not a gamer. She doesn't really play a lot of video games. She plays like Animal Crossing. That's really it. And I introduced Fall Guys to her, and she was terrified because she was like, "Can these people see me? Do they know who I am?" And I was like, "No, you're fine. You're like, you just play the game. I think you'd really like it." And she discovered that people could grab her and throw her off the edge and stuff like that. And she got so mad that she turned to me and she was like, "We need to send out an email." And I said, "What the fuck do you mean send out an email?" She's like, "We need to send an email to the developers of this game and tell them to take grabbing out of the game." And I was like, "You can't do that. That's not how that works." And also, people really love the grabbing mechanic. Fast forward a couple months, we keep playing the game like here and there, and suddenly she understands the grabbing mechanic and she's grabbing people left and right. I'm playing, she's like, "Grab that guy, grab that guy. Do this, do that."
I love the development of a gamer. I love watching the development of a gamer.
Yes.
I was like, "Oh, suddenly you want to grab." She's like, "Well, I
Yes.
get it now. It
Let
makes
the
it more exciting."
toxicity flow through you.
She
I'm seeing the
eventually
Matrix.
did-
I understand.
She did eventually push someone off a cliff, and she looked at me and she was like, "That was so fun." I was like, "Oh, but when it happens to you, it's not fun."
something dark side.
Dark side.
Oh my god! But
Oh,
it's
that's
really
so good.
funny. But she
That's
loves that game.
fantastic.
She got it on her, so she got a Switch for Christmas or
Switch.
something. And again, she plays like Animal Crossing. She plays Spyro and
Alright.
stuff like that. But Fall Guys, was somewhat recently made free, so she downloaded it and she hates it on the Switch. She doesn't think it plays the same, and obviously the Switch has its own glitches and whatever. But she really wants to get it on her laptop, which I told her I don't think it's going to run well on there either, but she really wants to play it at home because she loves it. She loves that game so much. So
It's a fun game. It's one of those games that I watch other people play it and I'm like, eh. And I'll be honest with you, I think overall the game is still meh. But put me in a room with my friends and I will have fun as shit with that game.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Fall Guys is another one of those you need your friend game.
Yeah.
What we've learned is that we love to game together.
Well, that is, I've talked about this before. The social aspect of gaming is very
It
important.
truly is.
And that's why I wrote an entire 40-page research paper on why video games should be implemented more in therapy.
Thank you. Yes, I do think. I honestly, yeah, I think it's such a. I think it's a situation where you can get a lot out of the other person, and you can come to understand them and how they think.
Honestly, I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes if
Just
yeah,
through gaming.
sometimes I feel like if you can't
Oh.
yell at your friend about them fucking up, but they know that you mean it from a loving way, then what are we doing?
Exactly.
Right.
Brian, I actually think you would love this. So I'll talk really fast about it. I wrote this paper, right? But I just downloaded a book and it's this video games and psychotherapy. So it's about how to implement like different it was published this year. So it talked a lot about games that were popular between 2020 to 2022 probably. And at the back of the book is a list of games that you can implement in therapy and like questions
Oh,
to
I know
ask
where
your
this is
clients
going.
and stuff like that. And so I was going through the list and it was like Animal Crossing, it said like FIFA, Among Us, like, just like stuff that was like popular during that time and like, why it could be useful, how it could be applied, whatever. And one of the games that it said that would be helpful for, mind you, this book is geared towards like working with children. I think it can obviously be applied to anyone, but it's geared towards working with children. The game that it said would be helpful, Overcooked. You're
What?
gonna sit here and you're
What?
gonna tell me Overcooked?
It builds communication skills.
No, the fucking don't.
No, I said
See,
I said
my
the only
reaction was
It
reason-
doesn't build
exact
listening
opposite.
skills, it builds communication skills.
the only reason I would ever use that is if I was working with a couple and I wanted them to break up. That's what I would use.
What did I just tell you?
If I said this couple is so toxic and the only way to get them to break up is through if it had to be through any game, it's Overcooked. I would absolutely implement that. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
okay.
I would never do that to my clients, but
So-
but that's why I'm saying this game is not it.
I will defend Overcooked a little bit in this. And so hear me out. So, okay, but I'm sure you know about this, where in a group, there's generally 4 like roles that people in a group will take, right? There's those
Mhm.
4 basic roles where you have a leader, you have like a lieutenant whose job is to basically like make sure that people understand that even though the leader's kind of like running things, that is doing it for their own good. You have the follower and you have the joker. And those are like the 4 main, like in a friend group is what happens. And I think Overcooked, that happens within the game. Okay,
Yeah.
you have the one person that's just kind of like finally just like, okay, you're better at this than me. I'm just going to listen to everything you say. You have the person who's going to be calling the shots. The second person who's going to be repeating, because the first person is not going to be repeating because they're already moving on to the next thing. And then you always have someone who's just like, I'm just having fun and will make jokes and will keep the brevity happening in the game. All 4 of those roles are important for like a successful like friend group. I think that's why 4 is very often like the magic zone for games, because
Mhm.
everyone can naturally fall into those roles. Like even if you get a group of people who naturally go towards a leadership role and you put 4 leaders together, there were studies with this with young children that they did and I mean, this is years ago. I read about this. Who knows? This might be debunked by now. It might be bad science, whatever. But I found it very interesting that you take 4 people who generally like gravitate towards a leader role in their friend groups, and you put them together, and they will naturally fall into those 4 roles as well. You won't end up with
Mhm.
4 leaders fighting each other. You may at first, but eventually, what will happen is those 4 people will fall into those 4 roles. So I think if you had a group of 4. I could see it. I could see
And
Overcooked working with that.
I understand. I truly do. Like, obviously, I understand it. I just think it's so funny because anytime I've played Overcooked with anyone, it like so many people obviously adore the game, and I love the game too. Like, I still think it's fun. But it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I guess we could play Overcooked. And then you play it and you're having a great time, but you're also like, wow, I hope I never play this game again. You're just like, this was the worst time of my life. I hated it. Same time
Yep.
next week. I'll see you then. Like, you're just
I see you next week.
It does do that a little bit. I will give you.
Yeah.
I really
Uh,
wish we could have got that working. So
True.
the
I
4 of us
know
could play
for
it.
yeah.
That was.
But I
I-
just wanted to talk about that very quickly. I just thought it you would find it very
I found it very
interesting.
interesting.
I will say that like playing Overcooked is different with who you play
Yep.
with. Like I have an easier time playing it with Brian just because of the whole like our background experience than I
Mhm.
did with Maggie, and I was like, why aren't you understanding what I'm saying?
Okay, to be fair, the first time Floyd and I
Uh-oh.
played it the relationship dynamic was very different then. So it was chaotic, but it was fun. And then Brian and I, when we played it, it was obviously still chaotic and fun, but it was a lot more. There was a lot more yelling. There was a lot
Yeah.
more. There was a lot more chaos. Still, same amount of fun, more chaos.
Yeah, no, I with Floyd and I having a background as being cooks, like you understand your expo position and you understand the like the information that needs to be given and how quickly it needs to be given. And Floyd and I would still run into super chaos because it's not an actual kitchen.
I mean, yeah.
That's what makes the game fun. But yeah, and like what I found what was cool with Floyd and I is we would, depending on the map, one of us, and it wasn't always the same person, one of us would be the one who's like the shot caller. Like, and I had played the original Overcooked with a group of 4, where obviously I was like, I should be the one constantly calling, but like someone would always be like, well, but I'm like, okay, whatever. And then you let someone else take over and everything goes to shit. And it's just like, I'm doing it for our good. You know?
Yeah.
But like, I think with Floyd and I, we got into a rhythm where it was like, we were 3-starring like late levels.
hmm
And it was funny. We thought we were doing bad and we would like just wreck the fucking point total we needed as 2 people. And those point totals do not get lower No, if you're playing with less people, just FYI.
Yeah, no.
Just so you're aware.
Yeah. So, no, I definitely see that. Like, yeah, having a background in a kitchen playing that game, it makes sense. Like, you're like, no. One of us needs to call the
Yeah.
recipes
Well,
out.
That's true.
Like,
I would love to send, because I just have a PDF of this book. I would love to either send you like the chapter that talks about it, or
Drop it in the
whatever.
drive.
Just
But
drop
yeah,
it in
put it in the
drive.
Dropbox.
It's very-
I'll
it's
throw it
very
onto my
cool.
tablet.
Same.
But anyway,
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're talking about games, right?
I mean, we were still talking about games.
What what is this podcast about? Where am I?
who are you people?
Yeah.
Oh, don't ask me who I am. That is a lifelong question that no one figures out to the very last
I
second.
don't even know who I am anymore.
Womp womp.
Womp.
Anyway,
Fine.
So I also been playing Darkest Dungeons too.
Wait, we never got to you.
we're not.
We never got to me yet.
We are. I just want to say we're 40 minutes into this, and we
Yes.
haven't even gotten to the
Jesus.
topic of.
Yeah. And here I was worried that the second take. Nope, it's not the second take. Never happened. We might not bring the energy we had on the first take.
We gotta
Here's-
get the ball rolling. We gotta.
No worried for nothing. Anyway, it's the Darkest Dungeons 2. Fantastic game. Don't play it drunk your first time. I hated it when I was playing it drunk. I played it for 40 minutes. I hated every second of the game. I couldn't stand it. Gorgeous game. It's great. If you're into roguelikes or roguelites, I think you would very much enjoy it. The greatest thing I think about the game is that it's different enough from the first one that you can easily have both games in your collection and enjoy both of them for different reasons. The other day I had like a 4-hour gaming session, just like a personal, like just playing. And I kept kind of switching back and forth. I played Darkest Dungeons 2 for about like an hour or so, get a run or two in. And I'd be like, oh man, I want to play the first one. And I go back to the first one, and I play that for a little bit. And, you know, that's different because you don't like reset every time. So you have a town and your party, and they get injured, and you have to heal them and this and that. And I would do a couple adventures and be like, oh man, but I want to go back and play Darkest Dungeons 2. It does this other thing differently. And then I would like flip back and play that one for a couple. So if you like games where you're supposed to fail, and that's going to be what's going to happen to you most of the time, if you can handle that and put up with it, if you can learn the systems, if you are a roguelike or a roguelite fan, I highly, highly, highly suggest both Darkest Dungeons games.
Yeah.
For different reasons. They play differently, but they can easily both live on your system. They both live on mine. I love both of them. Still playing both of them. That's the quick version.
All right, and that ad was sponsored by whoever made Darkest Dungeons.
Red Hook Games. But no, it's not an ad, and no, we're not sponsored.
But if they want to.
Don't you bring that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. My opinions are my own.
They are.
Speaking about sequels of games,
Sequels.
segue.
Segue.
Topic.
Okay, so I want to talk about this week of sequels to games, and like not necessarily like sequels that are out, but sequels you would like to see
Yes.
come
Mhm.
out. Now, this could be like a new game. So, like for example, an easy answer for me would be Elden Ring. Man, I want to see an Elden Ring 2. I know FromSoft's going to make that. I'm not going to bother mentioning that. That's an example. It doesn't have to be an old game, but I think a lot of times it's going to be an older game, like a game you used to play, this and that. And it's a game that can have sequels, but you would just like to see more of. And I just kind of wanted to see where everyone's at with that and what they think and what they want.
Who want to go first?
Cool.
Nobody?
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
said you were
shit.
going.
Oh,
first.
yeah, I did. I thought
yeah,
he said
wait,
that too.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
you said-
Y'all thought the same thing. Okay,
definitely,
how about...
you definitely said
Oh.
I
I'm
want to
gonna
go first. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely
I should
said
pronounce
that.
my words better. I said, who wants to go first?
Too
But it looked like
bad.
I'm going first. So,
Yep.
Yeah, you're
damn.
first now, buddy.
So the first game I want to play, and I know, we haven't had this game in a while, is Bully. Y'all play Bully before?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did
No.
not like
I
it.
love Bully. Fuck you, Bully. Nobody cares.
I know.
He's
Sorry, I
on the
love you, baby.
podcast for a reason.
Because somebody has to be wrong.
Ooh.
Huh?
What? Sorry,
What?
what did we do?
We
Womp, womp,
woo.
Yeah. But yeah, Bully's a good game. It's made by Rockstar. It follows a kid who has a bad parent, who comes with bad parents into a school that treats him like shit. It's a good game. I want to see another one of those, but knowing Rockstar, we're not getting that. We're just gonna get GTA again. GTA 5.
Never ever.
Never gonna
Never
do
gonna get it.
Yeah,
that.
Never
It won't
gonna
make
get
enough
it.
money.
Never gonna get
Never
it.
gonna get it. Never gonna
Whoa,
get it.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
And now it's time for breakdown. Push it. Sorry. Like me.
So
I don't know.
I'm gonna pull one up for the fighting game people. I want another Capcom versus SNK game. I love that series. I love that more. I think I might have liked that more than Capcom versus Marvel.
You are
Marvel
smoking
versus Capcom.
dick.
Capcom
I'm sorry,
versus
he's doing what?
Listen, we do not kink shame on this podcast.
But first of all, that's a question for another day. You know
Austin,
what?
don't light
You
my
keep-
pubes on fire while you're pulling.
You know what? Just keep going.
Yes. So Capcom versus SNK 2 is probably one of the better, in my opinion, one of the better fighting games. Like, just in general. And I'll take that over most of the Marvel vs. Capcom series, except 2.
Floyd, I thought you was gonna say like Capcom versus Tatsunoko, because you got it like you had it like outside in the
No.
in the main room for like a minute.
No. Yeah, and I love that game, but no, SNK. SNK. 100% easy.
Just a couple questions.
But
Does SNK make the Samurai game? Samurai Showdown.
yes.
No,
I believe so.
SNK
Okay, with it.
doesn't.
No,
forget my
SNK
second.
doesn't. It's
No?
it's the company that makes SNK. They make Fatal Fury and Samurai Showdown.
Yeah. But
So are Samurai Showdown characters in that game?
Depending on what game we're talking about.
yeah, it is. I don't think it's in 2, but yeah, it can be in 3 if we ever get a
Yeah.
third one.
I'm with it.
So as long as I get my sham show.
Give me my Samurai Showdown characters, and I'm with it. I want Hitori so I can turn into a log.
You
Okay.
A log.
The
And then appear-
substitution jutsus.
Oh yeah, no, that was my dude. Him and the one that would send the dog at you.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my guys. They had very similar movesets, but you had to play them quite differently, honestly, which I found to be very interesting. Oh, I want a Samurai Showdown arcade cabinet.
That'd be dope.
Different podcast. Different
Different
podcast.
time.
You want to go, Maggie, or want me to go?
I can go. The game that I would love a sequel to is Ni no Kuni. There is a first one and a second one. The second one takes place 100 years in the future, so it has no real relation to the first one except for certain areas that you can go to. There's a place called Ding Dong Dell that
Ding
is in both games. But I highly recommend it if you love things like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Pokemon. It has that aspect of like collecting little creatures and open world, and it's all done in the art style of Studio Ghibli or Ghibli. I don't give a fuck how you pronounce it.
I pronounce it
But
Ghibli.
it's all done
Correct
by
pronunciation is for fools.
it's all done by Studio Ghibli. The art style is all done by them, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The second one has tactical fighting is what it's called.
Is it a turn-based squad tactical RPG?
Yes.
It's the stutter.
Okay, I'll try them later, and we'll come back, and I'll let you know.
But I would love to see a third one that kind of wraps the lore together a little bit more. In the second one, you know how like they do in games where it's like there's a book on a shelf and you can read about the lore. The second one does that a little bit about the first one. I would love to have a game set like 100 years in the past, like to get more of that lore, to see like, because there's talk about like wars and things like that. I would love to see what
There's
the third
war
one's
in the
gonna be.
lore?
There's
There's
war in
lore in
between
the
the
lore.
lore.
There has been talk of a third one in development, but there hasn't been any updates for the last like 4 years or something like that. So who knows if it's gonna be, or when it'll be coming out, or if they're even still really working on it. But I would love to be able to see that, because I think the art style again is beautiful, and I think the game is really, really fun.
Nice.
Nice. Well, you're a fan of lore, and I've always preferred data. I would like another Shadowrun game. Now, so here's the thing. So Harebrained Schemes, when they made 3 Shadowrun games, which, for those of you who have Game Pass, all 3 games are now on Game Pass.
Nice.
They are worth a play. So this is a turn-based team tactical RPG set in the Shadowrun universe. And yeah, honestly, the first 3 were fantastic, and I just want them to make a 4th one because I want more games done the way they did them with like all the details they did. They were fantastic games. They have made since then a BattleTech game, also on Game Pass. That one, I bought it. It was kind of meh. The story was decent, but if you tried to play like the endless mode, man, let me tell you that they do not know what a chance to hit means because your 99% miss 10 times out of 10. But an enemy's 10% chance to hit will hit you 10 times out of 10. So
RNG, baby.
RNG, but the Shadowrun games, they worked a lot better. And like I said, I haven't played the BattleTech game in years. I bought it when it first came out. I might give it another shot, and hopefully they fix some stuff. But fuck that. I want more Shadowrun games.
Nice. So I got 2.
Okay.
Cool Borders, a new Cool Borders game, because I just that was my snowboarding like series right there. I love Cool Borders, and then the other one is another like a sequel to Eternal Sonata, which was a really interesting like RPG, but it was like music based, and I enjoyed the hell out of that. I thought that was really good.
That sounds really cool.
You had me at music.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had me at new. Actually, you had me at like, the description of the systems being unique, which is constantly what I'm chasing. Don't worry about the creepiness. I'm 2 cups of wine in.
Oh.
You know what? One game that I was just thinking about over here when Floyd talked about Capcom versus SNK. Whenever we get the chance, I want another Tekken Tag tournament.
Yeah.
You bastard! You bastard! What are you reading my list?
I read your list, you motherfucker. You left it on the table.
You read my
Yeah,
It was
left it
funny
on the
because I
table
was
and I
actually
got
thinking
sneaky.
about Tag 3, and I was like, I'm not gonna mention that.
And I tried to leave you a Cuphead this time.
Oh,
mate.
my bad.
Well, I don't know where that accent went. Don't just.
Well,
ignore me.
Was that supposed to be Canadian?
I thought it was Irish.
What's that? I'm sorry, friend. What's that about?
A boot?
Hey, did you know Canada's not a state? We're actually a whole country.
Oh.
Everyone goes, oh.
Oh, yeah. Public schools in the United States.
And then you
suck.
get that one tourist.
Yes.
But how about the bacon, eh?
Oh.
Oh, man. Okay, let's slide aside. So we call it Canadian bacon here. They just call it ham
Yep.
up there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a Canadian bacon, which is like a pork belly thing, and it's cured in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
What we call Canadian bacon here, they just call ham. Because you know what
Yeah.
it is? It's fucking ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
I just
No,
need
you
to
good.
get that out.
My family, when we were kids, we used to go up to Canada every summer. So I know true Canadian bacon.
Money bags.
Okay, money bag
yeah,
mags.
that's what they
Money
call
Money bag
bag.
mags.
Money bag mags.
Did you ever have any grits with the bacon?
All right, that's enough of me today. Y'all can finish the podcast. It was shitty talking to you all, and I'll see you some other time.
Oh, I love you. Gooby, don't go.
Uh-huh.
I sorry.
Yeah,
You
sure
know
you
how I
are.
am. You know how I am.
Uh-huh.
I can't help myself.
Uh-huh. Yes, you can.
I can, but I don't.
Exactly.
Well, at least I'm honest about it.
Yep.
I want a sequel to Cuphead, goddammit.
Yeah, that's how we get back to topic, baby.
That's how we get back on.
Yeah.
Like, God, I gotta go through this again, don't I? I mean, no, first take. So, Cuphead.
Speed run.
just-
Speed run it.
Speed 180%.
Just one of those. Fuck you. Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Got it. Big Blaine. Anyway, so Cuphead, man. Like the art style, the music especially. We all know the music with Cuphead is fantastic. But just the game in general, how it's made, how it's put together, you can tell this is a game made with love by developers that care about the game they're putting out.
Yes.
And also, I want to give all the support in the world to a studio who puts their workers first, who puts their mental health first, their well-being first, who does not believe in crunch, who believes in taking the time to make a game properly, and you can see it in the finished product. This is a company that I just want to throw money at and be like, please show the rest of all these developers that they need to just slow down and put a good game out. Cuphead was made with love. You can feel it in everything. The game is fair. It is difficult, but it is fair. The art style is beautiful. The music is, chef's motherfucking kiss, bro.
I want to,
like, just everything about it. And I just want to play more. I just want more. Like, just shut up, take my money, give me more.
I would love the ability to play with more people.
No.
I'm
Hell
just saying
no.
because no. I'm saying because I know that the three of us had talked about playing it together, and so I would like that ability to do so.
If you had the ability to play,
I would
make it a 4-player game, but have like a 2v2 type of scenario, then yeah. But 4 people going against one boss, I will hate everyone in that second. That boss will have too much health.
I think if you did a 4-player game, I think it's a completely different game. And I think if you balance it differently and you change some things with it, I think it could be done. I think with how Cuphead is how it is, I think 2 is kind of where it's at. Now, once again, when we were talking about with the expansion coming out and there's a third character, we thought for sure you could play with 3, and Jordan and I were going to rope Maggie into playing with us.
To feel the pain. I mean, to feel the good game.
Which is funny to me that you were so against that idea and so happy when you found out you didn't have to, and now you're telling me you want to.
Well, of course, I always wanted to, but I was going to complain the whole time.
That's fair, and I love you for it. But yeah, just give me more Cuphead, man. It's so good. Like Jordan and I had such a good time playing.
I always love Cuphead anyway.
And yeah, it's just there's so many great moments in that game that I even think back to now, and like how often, like you know, a great game when you think about the game and you think about memories you have with a friend of yours that are based around that game and the times you had together, and I'm like, that it's hard to replicate in games. It's especially hard to replicate in solo games, you know, and it's hard to replicate in a game that is balanced enough to play solo or with two people. And it's a great accomplishment. I know it got tons of love when it came out. I just hope it never leaves anyone's mind. I think Cuphead is a game that should constantly be thought about and talked about, and more of it should be made. And I don't care. Give me another Cuphead and charge me $70 for this next one, and it can be the same size and everything, and I'll be like, shut up and take my fucking money. Oh, do you have a battle pass now? Shut up, take my fucking monthly money. Like, pay your workers with it. Keep making games, please. That was all. Anyone got any more? I still got some more if you got.
Nope.
Okay, hit me out.
Okay.
Leisure Suit Larry.
What's wrong with you?
Tomato.
Ooh.
What that is.
Maggie, look at Leisure Suit.
Okay.
Get your tomatoes ready.
No.
Yeah, get them
I
all.
got
Please
it.
don't get them ready. No.
In fact, warm them under your pit so that they splash.
Oh, God.
What the hell?
Yeah, tomato.
You might as well say parappa the rapper.
That too. I would love
I'm
a
sorry.
rapper.
May I read the description of this game?
Oh,
Oh,
go
please
ahead.
do. Please do.
Leisure Suit Larry is an adult-themed sex comedy video game series created by Allo. That's it. That's all it says.
Yeah.
The
There's
funniest part
no
of that
other
is that it
information.
mentions comedy.
Is it
That's
not
the
funny?
biggest joke. I never found any of it funny. Like, maybe when I was 13 years old, I would have thought it was
Oh,
funny.
hey, one of them came out in
Yeah.
2020.
Hey, there you go, Jordan. Let's go play that.
It's called Wet Dreams Dry Twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's the level of
Crickets.
comedy you can expect
Crickets.
from a Leisure Suit
Yep.
Larry game.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of agree with Floyd
Alright.
though. Parappa the Rapper would be a nice little callback to old school like Jamie
It-
Lammy's.
Can I?
Pretty sure Floyd was saying he didn't want Parappa the Rapper.
Oh,
Yes.
you wouldn't want Parappa the
I
Rapper?
was. No,
Why not?
but I would rather have that over Leisure Suit.
Can I
Larry.
just say on Steam, this specific Leisure Suit Larry has a 9 out of 10, but on a separate website, it has a 3.9 out of 10. So if that tells you anything.
Yeah, I don't believe a lot of like numbered reviews, but that 3.9 sounds about right. Just saying.
I believe it.
I might want to knock that 0.9 off the end, but other than that.
Yeah.
All right. Has anyone here ever played Knights of the Old Republic?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Have you played Knights of the Old Republic 2?
Yes.
I want a Knights of the Old Republic 3.
I get that.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my favorite RPG series. I get it. There's janky. There's crashes. It's bad. Like, we can make it. We have.
Pretty
the
sure they put
technology.
that on
We
Game
can
Pass.
make it better. I don't know. I own them.
Oh, well, cool.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it works for me.
Mhm.
Actually, I think one of them might be on Game Pass. I think 2 is on Game Pass because
Yeah.
it's an Oblivion game. But yeah, so if you don't know, it's set in the Star Wars universe, and it's before the Old Republic. So it's so prequel. It's thousands of years in the future, right?
Mhm.
Which is awesome because it gives it just this open world to deal with and not have to deal with the main timeline and any of that bullshit. This is before, I think, well, I don't even know if this is canon anymore because it was side stuff and Disney was like, no canon. And then they're just going to retell the stories and charge money for it. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Capitalism sucks. And so this is like set before the Jedi and Sith War. So there's a bunch of Sith around. There's a bunch of Jedi around. And yeah, it's an RPG with lightsabers. That's not an MMO. So yes, please, may I have some more? I think that
Yeah.
covers that. Also, I would like so there's a game I love, and it's called FTL, Faster Than Light. That is the full title, which makes me always wonder what does FTL stand for, if not Faster Than Light, because it's FTL : Faster Than Light.
Huh.
Yeah,
Faster than light, faster than light.
yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's Faster Than Light : Faster Than Light. So I already have a name for the sequel. It's EFTL : Even Faster Than Light.
I love
Boom.
that.
Did it? It's because
Email them.
I
Send
have-
an email.
Yeah, right. Because I have a brand, it's a roguelike. You're piloting a lone spaceship, like you have different systems in it, and you have to move your crew around to deal with stuff, and you're on a suicide mission, basically. Now, the company that made this game has made other like fantastic games since then, but they've never come back to this well and made a second one. And I think anyone who's a fan of FTL would love a second FTL. Just make it bigger, make it more. And I mean, I know me personally, as somebody who loves that game, I would buy it, and I wouldn't even stop and think about it. You know. What else I got? Mass Effect. I think it's a great universe that was created. I know Andromeda was a whatever, the first 3 whatever, but you don't have to tell the story even in the same universe. Well, like that in the same in the same universe you created, but not necessarily even like within the same galaxies. That's a ticket. You know, do whatever you want, but just don't make it boring like Andromeda eventually became. Which I know Andromeda gets a lot of shit. I don't think it deserves it. It was still a fine game, but I think there's more stories that could be told in the Mass Effect universe, and I would like to see it happen. The fact that it's an EA thing, it's not going to happen. That's my pipe dream. And then I know I did say this ahead of time to y'all, and nobody did it, and I think it's great that we try to stay positive. Sequels I'm sick of seeing, and I have a big one.
Oh,
Borderlands. Borderlands 3 games was enough.
I think
Borderlands 3, which is actually the 4th game they've made, sucks. Stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it.
yeah.
Stop.
I've never even played them. I'm going.
You played
purely
Borderlands
off-
2?
I did, but I'm going purely based off vibes. And as an empath, I'm sensing that you guys don't like Borderlands 3. So I feel like that's what I said. As an empath, maybe you should open your ears, Jordan. As an empath, I'm sensing that you guys don't like the game.
really?
So I feel like they should. You know what? I'm gonna get you a hearing aid. It's all good.
I love any time Maggie fucking claps back. My favorite thing in the world is when Maggie claps back, and I'm like, "That's why you get us."
But
I'm sorry. Please continue.
no, I was gonna. All I was gonna say was, yeah, they probably should have stopped at the second one, from what I'm understanding. But it's really sad because I know when the third one came out, I remember you guys being hot. Like, you guys were throwing yourselves into this. Like, it was the only thing you could think of. And then when it was, like, when you guys finished it or whatever, I just remember coming over to the house and I was like, oh, how's everyone liking the game? And everyone was like, don't talk about it. Like, don't talk about it.
You know, I should have learned this in high school. When the popular girl tells you how much she loves you, something's fucked up. Should have known. Should have known.
Don't ever believe it the first time.
Anybody else got sequels they want to see, or if anyone else wants to talk a little shit real quick?
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good clap back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, Jordan, but I mean, come on, man.
I'm not giving credit to them.
I love all of my children equally.
Jordan just very quietly in the back.
I'm
I'm not giving credit to that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, games coming out. Couple things. I haven't really looked into any of these much, but a couple caught my eye. Super Bunny Man is coming to PC on the 16th.
What's happening?
Which I thought was out already, but I guess it wasn't on PC, so I guess it's coming to PC.
Super Bunny Man.
So, Jordan, I found what our next streaming game together is going to be.
Super Bunny Man?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Perfect. Fuck Cuphead, we're going to do Super Bunny Man.
Fuck it.
Starship Troopers on the 17th, which I haven't heard anything about, but I read a little blurb. Apparently it's a co-op shooter with up to 12 people, where you also have to like build reinforcements. So it sounds exciting. I know I'll never get into a group of 12 people, and since I permanently have been tagged with doesn't play well with others, I won't get into a group of people that I don't know, because I don't want to ever deal with them. But that sounds interesting. I mean, could be fun. Who knows?
You said I barely deal with you fuckers. You think I want to deal with
I mean,
other people?
You said it. I just thought it really, really loud. Then we got the Outlast Trials on May 18th. Which,
Ooh.
I'm not a huge like horror game fan.
I'm just
And
tired.
a lot of people like. I think everyone is. But it's an action horror.
Ooh.
Whatever the fuck that means. And then, you know what? Just to go into more of the horror games, Paranormal Hunter comes out on PC May 22nd. No idea what that is either. Oh, and then, because Outlast and this other game are just hooked together at the hip, apparently. And I don't know why May is like May getting a bunch of horror games because horror games are trying to get ahead of the October rush, and they're
Probably.
like, Tears of the Kingdom just
like
came
a weird
out.
Time.
Well, I wonder if Tears of the Kingdom has something with it, because there's a lot of like bigger titles that seems like they got pushed back to June, and I'm wondering if like a lot of that had to do with
probably.
Tears of the Kingdom, where it's like, why would we try to compete with
100%.
It was.
that? But having horror games, I think, makes sense to compete with Tears of the Kingdom because you're generally working on two diametrically opposed fan bases.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm sure there's a lot of crossover, and I'm not saying there's not, but I'm also extremely certain that Venn diagram does not, cover both sides completely. Because we also, on the 23rd, which technically is past when this episode comes out, so usually I don't do this. Well, I mean, this episode comes out on the 15th, so this would be the Tuesday. I normally don't go this far ahead. It's just, I thought it was funny to see all these coming out so quickly. Is Amnesia: The Bunker is an action horror
Not
open
Amnesia.
Not
Yeah.
open world.
Yeah, I know, right? Which is coming to basically every system except the
'cause of
Switch.
course.
Damn.
Oh,
Because baby
boo.
Switch can't handle it.
It-
I mean,
yeah, I
probably.
guarantee you it can't handle it.
You know what? You're probably onto something there.
So those are it. Like, for some reason, mid to end May is early Halloween, I guess.
Welcome to second
Boogly
Halloween.
boog, bitch.
Hey man, fuck that. We seem to have Christmas all fucking year. It's about goddamn
We have
Man.
we have Christmas in July, and now let us introduce
We-
Halloween.
Halloween in
We
May.
have snow all the way up to goddamn June.
Hey, I'm more about that Halloween in May than I am that Christmas in July shit.
I'm with that.
Same.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Okay. Okay. Anyway.
That makes me want to play
if
South
the
Park.
fuckers can't
God damn it.
understand what satire is, then they can kiss my ass because they'll never get it. So it's
Why don't you kiss my ass, Mr. Garrison?
no, it's
My
suck
balls,
my
Mr.
balls,
Garrison.
Mr. Gasson. Present them. Shut your
Uncle
fucking
fucker.
face, Uncle Fucker.
Oh.
You're a boner butter passing Uncle Fucker. You're an Uncle Fucker. Yes, it's true. Nobody fucks uncles quite like you. Shut your fucking
Anyway.
You're the one who fucked your uncle, Uncle Fucker.
What a
don't
great
eat a single mother-
podcast this was.
Yeah, it's great that we didn't have to do it twice.
It's so
100%.
interesting.
Oh,
Could you
And it
imagine
definitely
if they're all one takers, we're that
Yeah.
good, baby.
hmm
Uh,
One take
I don't
wonders.
do 2 takes. It sickens me.
oh, and it definitely wasn't my
It
fault.
definitely wasn't because someone's OBS decided to
It wasn't.
crash.
It was technology's fault. Like, okay,
It's
shit
true.
happens.
It's
I mean,
true.
It's like I was saying. It like, okay, so yeah. I mean, if you haven't figured it out by now, we're an hour and 6 minutes into this podcast, and unfortunately, Maggie's recording crashed and lost the recording.
Beep, beep,
And
beep.
so we had to do this from the start. I think we ended up still having a good amount of energy. Can I just be honest and be proud of us for that?
Oh yeah. Oh, I think we did a great job, and we still talked. We
Um,
talked about even more than we did the first round.
It's
so-
true. We did, but we missed some stuff. Like, it's just, So, like, I have all the audio saved from that. Maybe it goes into the special. Who knows?
Into bloopies,
Into bloopers. Bloopies and
Bloopers
bloopers.
and troopers.
bloopies and bloopers. Okay.
but yeah.
Well,
So, anybody got, like, any more news? Anything going on? Anything we need to talk about?
No.
I'm finna go eat some
No.
Superman ice
I
cream.
finished.
I'm gonna go play Tears of the Kingdom.
That's
I'm gonna
true.
drink some water.
Floyd did buy Superman
you
ice
bought that?
cream.
I found it. Yeah.
Will you
Yeah.
save some
Also-
for me?
Yes.
I want
Just
to
like
try
a spoonful.
I won't.
I want to try it for the first time.
Just a spoon. Just a spoon.
sir.
A single.
I mean, honestly,
spoonful.
I just want a spoon. I just want to see if it's the
The same.
correct.
Yeah.
Plot
because I
twist, it's
know.
just vanilla.
No, it's not. No, I read.
I
I read.
know.
I made sure. It does have Blue Moon in it, so that is correct number 1. It's still claiming Black Cherry. And then
Well-
vanilla apparently is the yellow?
Mm.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to know if it's correct when I take a bite of it. And that's it. Like, I'm not, and this one's not even called Superman. So if it doesn't taste right, I'm still not wrong.
True. True. It's not called
Like-
Superman, so it doesn't
Yeah.
count if it's wrong.
I will still be the best kind of correct, which is technically correct.
All right. Well, y'all go
On that
enjoy
note.
that.
Yeah. We love y'all. Thank you so much for putting up with our antics. I'm still working on those things that I want us to do, but I'm lazy, so it's going to take a while.
Woo.
And on that note, as they say in hockey,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.